This is Mr. Impact Wrestling himself, Moose, and you're listening to the Irish Whip.
Hookers? Hookers and Coke?
Hookers and Coke, man.
You're the only pro wrestler I know that wants to do this shit in the morning.
Yeti, you're a f***ing moron.
Put it this way, I think Sami Callihan might as well just change his name to Invader
I
One.
want to know why. Like, he can dodge any question. Like, I'll tell anyone that. You can tell me but I'm going to ask specific questions.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all the rest of you yahoos who are out there dilly-dillying, you little wankers, we're actually receiving real wrestling news.
This is
Brett screwed Brett.
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Brett screwed Brett.
Hold 2! Arm bar!
Hey, get a nice shot of the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate your hat. I hate your t-shirts. I hate your wristbands. I hate your shoes. I hate your music. I hate the C Nation. I hate everything that you stand for.
Sodas rule.
Yeah, they do.
That was a great promo, man. What's going on, TIW Mafia? JP here. Josh with us.
Dude, I'm so jacked if that's literally if that's a prediction that comes true, like if it's
I think they announced him already.
Oh, Edge, yeah, but what about Cena?
I think Cena's in. I think so.
Well, they got a new haircut. What's up, Ronald? What's up,
Ronald? What is up, Bobby D? Bobby D, can you message one of us at some point after the show tonight?
Yeah, just shoot us we got a question to ask you. It's private. Thanks for coming along. As always, follow us at the number 3 Irish Boys with a Z, or just Google Irish Whip and you will find us everywhere, anywhere, right there. So,
guys, we're gonna turn into Oprah fucking Winfrey for a second. Yeah.
Why? Oh, why?
Month Club. I just got this in the mail. I'm gonna read this. This is Lance by Chance. Wrestling is a Von Erich by Lance Vaughn, who was Lance Von Erich with Vinny Berry, who Vinny will be on the show at some point when we do the review. And let me tell you, y'all know me. I'm an honest motherfucker. If this book is not good, I'm going to tell Vinny on the show I did not think the book was good. That being said, the Von Erichs are legendary in the Texas area, so I expect some awesome stories out of here, and I really expect to enjoy this book.
Yeah, man, it's Texas wrestling. The Von Erich family is something that it's the AWA, NWA, the whole, all that region, like even some of the MLW stuff right now with the new Von Erichs that's going on. Yeah. What's up, Tommy Flynn? It's cool for me. So I'm super excited because you're going to read it, then you're going to ship it to me, and I'm going to get a good read on. I might even just buy one. I don't know. If you get into, let's see. If you get into it and you like it, I'll probably just buy it. I
mean, this might be a giveaway too. At the end, after how cool that would be, a book that was read by me and read by Josh.
And
you can win that. Holy crap!
Yeah, we're over like that.
I'm joking about that making it anything, but what's up, Laurie? What's up, Tommy Flynn?
So we're spinning the wheel tonight for the Edge regular fig. I forgot.
The Edge regular.
It was the end of the month, and we're doing a pay-per-view, so we're going to do some pay-per-view predictions. And we should probably.
I don't think there's anything else. I don't know what's announced. I haven't honestly this week. I sucked at wrestling.
I got you. So here's where we're going. I'll just tell you real quick. So you got Asuka and Charlotte versus Shayna and Nia for women's tag team championship. You also have Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Last Man Standing, which they just announced SmackDown. That's going to go down here tonight, like a pre-part of that. WrestlingNewsSource.com was just kind of reported that a little bit ago. So that's going down. Right. You got Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. Then you have the Women's Royal Rumble match and the Men's Royal Rumble match. And I think I don't even remember who I picked. Dude, that's how horrible this is. Like, I don't remember who I picked in the men's match. I think in the women's it was Rousey. Like, I just want Rousey to show up, but that's my selfish pick. I think that the one that's going to win is Bianca Belair. But anyway, those are the matches. So I don't know if you want to run them down and do a few predictions or.
Yeah, I mean,
I got you, man. I got you. I'll tell you what we can.
I'm looking at it right now. Okay.
Which one do you want to do first?
So how about the women's tag championship? Oscar and Charlotte versus Shayna and Nia Jax.
I just want Shayna and Nia to win. So every week you say Shayna every week. I just want Shayna and Nia to win for that reason alone. That's it.
They're my pick too. I mean, because the Shayna, deserves to be pushed to the moon. Charlotte's been pushed to the moon, and Oscar, they seem to not want to push like that. Oscar doesn't get real long title reigns since she's come up to main roster. So,
no, well, I mean, no, but she still she holds a belt a lot. I mean, just think about the last time you saw her without a belt. She wears those things pretty well. Not to say that she just is villain, but she does a really good job of what she does. I love her. It's awesome. Asuka's one of my favorite wrestlers.
No. Yeah, I know. She's a lot of people's favorite, or one of favorite. In WWE is sort of like me with the Japanese style, and they don't know what to do with it. I don't get a lot of it. I love some of it, but I don't get a lot of it. And the WWE just doesn't know what to do with them. It's like the last successful Japanese faction was Kai and Tai.
Right. Yes.
Well,
if you got some stuff going on right now with a Chinese faction, that it might work. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows, dude? I don't see any of them going anywhere. Asuka and Charlotte, they're singles competitors that did the tag team thing for a little while. Charlotte came back in. She was able to get rid of a little bit of that ring rust, get her feet back in there. Even if I really want to see a good 4-horsewomen stable type push thing with Becky, hopefully coming back with a return soon. Tonight you actually have Bayley and Bianca Belair going at it. So maybe let's talk about the women's Royal Rumble match a little bit more seriously than we did last week, and maybe do some predictions and talk about are we going to get the 4 horsewomen back together at some point, or are we? Am I just being a mark, dude? Like I am when I watch WWE.
I mean, you might get them back together, but that doesn't mean they have to win. I think
I'm not saying that to win. I'm ready for that part of and I want it to be a really long, played out process. Like I'm talking like The Rock and John Cena, like a year, no contact, no touchy. We're gonna tweet shit about each other for a year.
I like
reunion, like Becky's.
That's the stuff that builds storylines, though. They're not touching the psychology of it.
Yeah, and you can't. Becky just had a baby. Like this is the time the man needs to be, in between feedings and diapers. Like
the man needs to be the mom for a little while, though. I think.
I agree, but at the same time, while she's the mom, which would be a pretty kick-ass shirt.
I think they made it actually.
Well, I'm ready for that, and I think if you did it right, I'm not saying she should be actively doing that now. What I'm saying is when it's time, she should be the last one to come into that. But that's just me, and you know how I like to tell stories, man. You know how I like to look at this thing and foretell. Like I told motherfuckers that this Randy Orton shit wasn't dead with the Fiend. Like everybody just. The WWE is into so much long game stuff right now because they have to be, as a corporate company and entity, they have to tell these long storylines, right? That intertwine. Makes sense, right?
I mean, they don't have to, but that's
right now they do.
It.
Right now they do, right?
They, yeah, you're right.
When we go back, when we all get the vaccination and go do what we want to do, it won't matter. But
you know what sucks about the vaccination is I worked in healthcare to a point.
Yep,
I'm one of those at-home healthcare workers that qualifies for the vaccination right now.
Yeah,
there's not enough of it in Massachusetts. I can't find a place.
I think they're working on it, man. From everything that I've said,
for some reason, Massachusetts, out of all of New England, has the least amount.
Is your senator you got a pretty good senator too?
We got a good governor. He's been doing a pretty good job, but it's
I know. My job said that when they're really pushing for it, so when it's available, that I'll be able to get it. Timber's already got hers done, so you just I'm follow suit. Like whatever happens. So
I'm sorry to hear that, Elvis. By the way,
Elvis, I hope your tooth feels better. Charlotte and Asuka will win. I don't think that's going to happen, Elvis. I think you're wrong. Like JP most of the time. No, actually, JP's right all the time. I'm wrong. But we're going to agree on this one, on the women's.
We're probably going to agree on a lot because I think I forget what I predicted on the Women's Royal Rumble. But I think it's Bianca Belair because that pushes a storyline between her and Bayley, too.
Well, yeah, and that really, I think it pushes, it allows the talent like a Bianca Belair and other talent to come up into that spotlight when you have a group of 4 women like Flair and Bayley and Sasha and Becky that can work together. And if they all went heel at the same time with some of this new talent, I really think it could be the thing that propels WWE to the next level. That plus their contract with India and the popularity in the WWE product. Like when you look at it, sharing information, when you look at our statistics, the 4th country in the world to download our podcast is India. So, dude, it's there. Like we get it, we understand it. And it's fun, and I'm excited to see if that gets told. It's just me being a mark, but you're right. I'm the Bianca Belair and Bayley. I think it's that good, and Bianca is a phenomenal athlete. Phenomenal athlete. What a mover! What a maneuver! What a maneuver! I
couldn't make a banner as well as you.
What?
I couldn't make a banner as well as you do, but.
Oh, you do great. You do great.
I try.
You spelled everything correctly. You have for people that are listening to this or have downloaded. JP has put up our link at What a Maneuver for T-shirts. So it's just at WATAMANEUVER. So it's What a Maneuver. You can go there and get our T-shirts as well as others on the Full Press Wrestling app, which we are also available and thankful and grateful for every time. I really think we need to get some opening videos like the Full Press Hockey guys. If you guys don't are hockey fans as me, like I have the package. I play NHL on Xbox. I listen to their podcast. I love hockey. So it's one of the things like I want to morph into helping those other podcasts because, dude, I'm grateful for where we're at. 2020 was a dog year for us, and we just hustled. And there was so much adversity that we overcame to get to where we're at. It's just glad if you guys support with T-shirts. That's awesome. That's a pretty cool design from Ringside Art. What a Maneuver put it together for us over the holidays. We were anxious for it to happen. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and that's the thing is me and Josh over the past 2 years have trying to figure out how to, not make money, but to have this sort of pay for itself. And it's cool that we're sort of at that point. And with that, we add more expenses to ourselves. But we don't want to do Patreon and all of that stuff because we want to give you the podcast for free. But if we can give you a pretty cool freaking shirt for a pretty good rate, then we would love to do that. And that helps the show out greatly.
Yeah. And we've talked about doing, when we have interviews or after the show, if people want to jump in or doing opening up after hours for people that are in there and posting on it. So it's just something that we've thrown around. It's fun. It's exciting. I'm just thankful for it, man. That's the cool thing that we can sit here and predict, shows like this and watch product that we get to watch.
Bobby D saying the Money in the Bank could be used in the championship match this Sunday. And you know what I say to that? Correct.
Yeah. You think so?
It could be. I mean, what's the Miz doing?
Here's what I'll say. And we share a mutual friend. He's the golden one. And we share this mutual friend, and he posts cryptic messages all the time because that's what he does. He basically said that hold on because the ending is going to be crazy.
Who? I don't know.
We'll figure it out. The ending to the Men's Royal Rumble is going to be insane.
Does he wear a gray T-shirt?
No. He wears sunglasses. Does a lot of stuff with Ben.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of time with his daughter.
Yeah, absolutely. So
and has like 27 names.
Yeah. And seriously, like when this dude puts stuff out there like that, it's golden.
He knows
it's
things.
golden. So, and everybody right now that is everybody that I can think of that I've been reading, and I just have people that I follow that are in the know, like that individual, is they don't say much. All they've been saying is this is going to be one of those rumbles that at the end everybody talks about.
Which tells me somebody's either coming back or debuting.
Has to be, right?
There's
Aleister Black talk. Like they've kept him off.
See, I'm thinking if it's something like that he's saying that, I'm thinking it's somebody off of the radar completely.
Well, Cena, right? I mean, we both want that to happen.
Yeah, but Cena's not off the radar.
He is for a lot of people. Do you think about the average WWE universe? It's when they're gone. They're like it's.
How's my mic levels, by the way? Are they good again?
Great. Sounds
awesome.
Great. You're. I
just want to double check because I know my voice is. I've been bringing my voice up and down this episode a little, so a little more animated for you guys.
Hey, just so you know, Bobby D's all over it. We're ready. Like Cena. We're just ready for the Cena. Oh, or The Rock. I wish it was Rock.
No.
He's doing some other stuff, man.
I think The Rock is now 3. I thought. Now I don't know because I thought The Rock, and I said this last year, the Rock at Mania versus Roman. What better way to make Roman the monster? But that was when that was going to be in California. Now it's not in California for 3 more years.
Right.
The Rock's going to be like 72 at that point. So
when you start looking at this, because we've already predicted the women's tag team championship, we're both looking Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. I think we're going to agree a lot.
Yeah, Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens in the last man standing match. We have that again, that setup match tonight.
It's got to be Roman. Like it cannot be, literally can't be Kevin Owens.
Yeah, as cool as some sort of a swerve would really be here, it just doesn't formulate for me.
Because Kevin Owens the one that beats the head of the table?
No, not right now.
You know what I mean? Like it's, and I like Kevin Owens. Like I like.
He's the ultimate underdog. He's the guy that everybody will root for because Kevin Owens is a badass. He's the new Stone Cold. He's the guy that everybody will root for no matter what. So if you need somebody to push a heel until he's heel enough, like Owens is that one that will make.
Oh. Did you see? So yeah, let's finish this up because I know we got to spin the wheel and we're gonna put out I think the second part to Nikita Koloff tonight.
Yeah,
too,
we got like 10 minutes, so we got a lot of stuff that we got to shove.
Yeah, because I want to talk about Peacock.
Oh, dude, yeah. So let's do the men's Royal Rumble. We got to predict that so we can save that for last because I got some things I want to talk about on that one. We're in agreement that Roman Reigns is retaining.
Still got the Universal, the Universal Roman Reigns. So WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg.
Yes,
Goldberg.
Shut up! No, it's McIntyre retains the title.
Goldberg.
You can't do that. No, you can't do that.
It's Goldberg.
You have to have the same reaction with.
Are they going to Saudi Arabia?
No,
they're not doing Saudi Arabia this year.
Oh yeah, they are, but no, they're doing India, I believe. I don't know. Well, maybe somebody's got to fact check that, but I don't believe that they're doing Saudi Arabia.
They're doing India.
I believe it's scheduled, but I believe the India thing is scheduled for more of talent that's there. So I don't know about any of the travel.
Okay. You know. Then, all right. So if they're not doing Saudi Arabia, then I agree, Drew McIntyre.
I'm thinking no COVID.
My thing with bringing the only thing that made sense to bring Goldberg in was for Saudi Arabia because they love the 90s wrestling because that's what they have currently. You know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense. He was out for 2 weeks with COVID-19. Then this happens. And then Goldberg, Kevin Owens, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. It's absolutely zero sense to put him over like as the company's top dude. Like he's just there to be the play. He's just there for a quick it's another flash in the pan, right? It's one of those. It's a name real quick. It's a and then he has the ability to put over McIntyre. That's the way I look at that one. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, but you're going Goldberg?
No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do McIntyre.
Okay, we probably last week we probably called this totally opposite. So
I absolutely did. I just pulled the Bobby the Brain Heenan like halfway through the match and changed my mind.
Oh man, that's still one of the fucking coolest bigs I think I bought was him in the bunny suit. By the way, you can still get that for $19.99 at Target.com, as well as Jake the Snake.
That's the one figure that's in every store around me.
Yes. What about men's Royal Rumble match? Are you with everybody else along this? Are you going with the guy that we're about to spin for and give a fig away in Edge in this variant here?
Nope.
Who are you going with, sir?
DB.
Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Because he has to put this in the notch. Like he has to belt this as he won a Royal Rumble. Like this is his thing, right? Is he going to enter at number one and go all the way to the end? Is he going to break? Is this HBK stuff? Like, or what are we talking about here?
No, he's. I mean, he could. I don't think so, though.
No,
I don't want it. That doesn't. I mean, that adds nothing to it when you're out there for 60 minutes like that. I mean, what if it was Jey Uso?
No.
Why? They've already. I mean, I don't either, but like you think about it, and they've already sort of pushed him against Roman. Are they going to do that again for Mania? But they're not going to main event Mania with Uso versus Roman.
Well, I mean, you did have interaction with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns and Jey Uso a couple months ago. I think those seeds were kind of planted on the way to WrestleMania. There's other, I think, legitimate possibilities. He could still earn a shot like it. Daddy Eric Bischoff, the Elimination Chamber. So Daniel Bryan makes sense, but I think that it's real. I think it's going to be Shinsuke. I think it's going to be Nakamura. I do. I really do.
That would be cool, actually. I really want to be pretty cool, but yeah. I'm going to stay with Daniel Bryan, actually.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, we've got all our picks in. That's it. That's done. We're good.
No. So Peacock, right? Did you see this?
So I saw it in passing, right? I've been busy. Like we've both been. It's been like 2020 was a fucker of a year. 2021's coming in to be a motherfucker of a year, but we're handling shit.
They basically bought the rights for the WWE network. They made $1 billion.
I know, but just the network. So, like I was trying to put this together today. Like, how does Fox and NBC? How does this work? Like, how does this?
Just the network, just the stuff that goes on the WWE network. So everything else stays the same. But now here's the thing: is Peacock has two different price points, or three actually. They have free. The free will not include the WWE network.
Well, obviously.
But they have the $4.99 one, which has commercials. So they're going to put commercials on the WWE stuff?
Yes.
And they have a $9.99 one, so the same exact price you're paying for the WWE network. That's commercial free. But then you also get all of the stuff like The Office and all of that stuff that Peacock offers. Every episode of Saturday Night Live ever. I watched episode 1 on there not too long ago.
I think you'll get the $9.99, but you won't get the commercials through the pay-per-view.
So with me, I get the $4.99 one for free through and I think a lot of people do through their cable provider.
I think I might too. I'm going to check that out tonight.
So, but I'm going to get I'm going to pay for the $9.99 one.
Because
that's what I'm paying anyway.
Here's the thing: the real reality is that there's no loyalty to WWE and the network. Like you don't. Do you remember when you used to purchase a pay-per-view, and if you sent in your proof of purchase, they would send you a poster or a relic from whatever. Do you remember that happening at all?
So I do, but my family was always the reason that they did that.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, because you were hacking shit like we were. We were adjusting satellites out there.
Yeah, we always had a black box.
Black box. Get the black box.
So we
first step.
We never paid for the pay-per-views.
It's a long. How fun was that? Speaking of Nikita Koloff and how fun was it? And this is in the second part where you get to hear his story about saying prayers over the pay-per-views I used to pay $9.99 a week for back in the TNA Asylum years. Like, he was back there with AJ Styles, with all of these young men, like guiding them and leading them. And I think those are the stories I love to hear people tell, man. Nikita was a killer interview. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite interviews that has ever been on. I'd say the Irish Whip or TNR, like going back all the way back for both of us.
Absolutely.
Definitely the favorite one I've been a part of.
August Gray, when he surprised you, when we set that up with him right about the CZW time. It's I think that's, for me personally, is a little bit higher than the Nikita one, but it's like a 1 and 1.5, not like a 1 and 2. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah. And it's, and that was a cool one but August Anthony, he was somebody that I could interview dry without knowing.
Right.
Either one of us could, because we knew
it was satisfaction for me just to have him back there, like we were
beyond. Tommy D.
The same.
Tommy Flynn called me out.
It was like a decade. It was like 12 years earlier, talking to him on Skype before him and Big Al went on and did their podcast. It was, I needed that, and he granted that to us, and it was really fun because he wanted to tell the story about walking up and asking if you were JP from the Irish Whip, and
there was so many like that. So there was another one where me and him did ring crew for a long time, and I was typically because I was one of the guys that had been there the longest doing ring crew. I knew the ring. I was typically in charge of ring crew during the show. The other kid who was in charge was a referee, so obviously he was in the ring doing, working during the show. And we did this thing called the Hot Dog Safari, which was this
Handsome
was
Johnny.
Yeah, so no, this wasn't the Handsome Johnny year, I don't think, but the year Ivar kicked me in the stomach, made me throw up. But so we had a hard cam out in the audience, and we were sticking Anthony out there, August, and it was a sunny as hell day. It was the middle of the summer, and I had said to him, if you need anything, if you feel like you're burning up or you need water, just raise your hand and I'll come out and get you. I watched the show. I didn't look for his hand being up. He was so burnt at the end of the day. I was like, why did you raise your hand? He's like, I was doing jumping jacks out there. Sorry, August.
Why does
I guess you could say it was a hot August summer.
Why doesn't that surprise me that you were not paying attention to fucking what was supposed to be going on? Why does it not surprise me that you were in your own little world?
I was probably drinking.
You think?
But
you
some
don't.
of those
Like,
shows,
when you drink,
some of those shows were like amazing.
When you drink, you don't drink a lot. Like, I guess you do drink a lot, but then the reason I bring this up is I think I should start drinking more so I feel bad for J-Bomb having a podcast and do things. Like, we used to be there, and it's really cool to watch 80 Proof and Chris and J-Bomb do their thing, and we talk about them all the time. Like, we respect, like, it's a grind, man. What they're doing is a grind, and
what's cool about them is, like, so they have a Discord channel, and I go in the Discord channel. Their Discord channel is going nonstop. It's not just them. There's a core group that are in their chat room every week on Twitch, and it's all of them just talking. Like, we've all become friends through this. It's weird. It's cool.
It's fun, man. It's really it's supporting, and that's the thing. Let's we got like 2 minutes here. Let's spin this wheel. And
I got names to add.
Oh, you're adding names?
I got names to add.
This is what's so challenging and so fun is watching you do, like, we record this, like recording this, and watching you add names to the wheel as we do this.
Laurie and PRXJ, who won last week. I know who they are, so I'm just PX.
Can we also talk about how the AEW figure distribution is really weird.
Everybody's saying that. I don't think it's really anywhere, to be honest with you. The wheel looks pretty cool this week, I gotta say. A lot better.
I picked up the hardest figs for me so far to find, honestly, have not been the first run of the AEW figures. It's been the second run of Penta and Moxley. Have been almost impossible for me to find, right? And every time I go over to doing the favor and I hit the legwork and I go over there and I try to figure out where they're at, right? There's a site, town Cody, Wyoming. There's always stock in, and it's always 50% off, but it's like 2 hours away.
In Wyoming?
Yes. So I debate, like, do I call the toy manager and do I ask him what's in there? And if it's there, do I spend the fucking $50 it's going to cost me to get down there to buy that shit and drive back or not?
Why don't we? We should look at just buying a case of them.
Absolutely.
All right. I've shuffled. Are we ready?
Yeah, are you playing music tonight? And how long are we doing this for? Are we picking a number like,
I forgot to hit the music. Thank you for reminding me.
You're very welcome, sir, because it's something that I don't do very often when I share this screen. And again, I hope you guys enjoy the Nikita Koloff. The feedback's been amazing, and we appreciate that. We have some more coming up. I have a couple that we're looking to book, and it's going to be fun. So
yes, yeah, we had a few that we've been chasing that are coming up. It looks like.
Speaking of, do you think this would be? I think this one would be okay to maybe do for an elite.
What's that? Hang on, I'm flipping screen.
Oh, got you. It's Rocky Johnson.
Oh yes,
Full Man. Trailblazer.
Yes, that is elite, isn't it?
It is an elite, man. So
yeah, that's a badass.
So I'll check and see. I'm not saying we can do this one, but I'm gonna try and find it next time I'm out. There were several there, and I saw it and picked it up. And I was like, well, if we're gonna do an elite for the next pay-per-view, I think that would be really cool. And so, not promising, but if you think that's cool, maybe we'll do one.
Yeah, I mean that's a figure I would want to pick up if I saw. But that's my style. Like I love the Laurie. I just put you on as Laurie Denmore. I didn't do the Mommy Denmore. I just saw your name on there, and Jay Gomez, who won last week, is on there.
Or we could pre-order the WWE Undertaker's exclusive from Target for $19.99. We can spin the wheel for this one anyway.
Ready? Let's.
Oh, nice. I like the tunes. Good pick. God, I want to see who wins. I can't see. I want our glasses on. Ricochet Page.
No, it's me.
Are you serious? No, it's not. Is it you? Oh my God, it is you.
Hang on. I'm going to spin again.
I even watched you shuffle that. Like you were adding names. You were either adding names or you were figuring out mathematically how many times you needed to do that. I had it land on your name because you really wanted this figure. One of the two things. That's all I know, man. That's all I can say. So you spin again. And oh man, oh my God, I can't see, dude.
Roberto 7229.
I bet you Roberto 7229 is on YouTube and is happy that he won. I think that might, or maybe that's Ronald. Ronald was for 794. So Roberto 738, reach out to us. If you don't, JP gets it.
That's the thing, guys. You gotta, we're not the most organized group of people.
We are. We need Barstool Sports. We need David Portnoy to step up, and we need a fucking contract. Let's get this done.
If you win, you message us and say, "Hey, I won." We do keep a track.
Yeah. But sometimes we do have to reach. Like I've got, I actually had addresses wrong.
Yeah,
numbers
off. Never.
Yeah, so it's I'm double checking addresses and shit now before I send them out.
What's today's date?
So again, at the number 3 Irish Boys with Z on Twitter. We thank our organic audience again, Full Press Wrestling, WrestlingNewsSource.com. Ben, Mike, everybody over there, Wrestling Source. Just thank you for everything. Thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy the Nikita Koloff interview.
Yes, guys, stay tuned for Nikita Koloff. Real quick, today's episode is brought to you by Fanatics.
I'm actually going to go purchase. No shit. I'm going to go get myself a Nashville Predators jersey, and I'm probably going to get Timber a Carolina Hurricanes jersey as well.
And that's the only place to get it. Like, Fanatics is the world's largest collection of official fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. If you enjoy our show and you're looking to buy a new jersey like Josh and Timber, a sweatshirt, and a hat, you can support us by going to podgo.co/fanatics. That's podgo.co/fanatics, and getting 25% off your order. So listen, you guys save a little money. A little bit of money comes back to the show. We appreciate it.
podgo.co/fanatics. If you guys purchase that and tag at 3 Irish Boys, and I'll buy you a fucking hat. I'll buy you a hat or whatever. I'll purchase something and I'll send it to you. Because if you're gonna take the time to listen to us, you're gonna take that time to go there. You're gonna do that. I'm gonna take the time to buy you something. So I get to pick the hat though. You tell me the team, and I'll pick the hat.
And that's officially licensed everything there. So everything they don't sell anything that's not officially licensed by the big leagues.
Hey, and real quick before we again thank podgo.co/fanatics. I want to mention something real quick, and then we're going to be done. The case against Masha Slamovich and her Russian collusion tour starts and ends with Camp Leapfrog, Ref Chris Levin and Sam Laterna, and the Cybernetico master, DeBryce is right, who has sponsored or has chosen to sponsor the Cybernetico match that's going on. So if you guys are GCW fans, it's facebook.com GCW, go check them out. There's free wrestling for 24 hours straight this weekend. Go support independent wrestling. Go buy a t-shirt. If you don't buy a t-shirt there, go to podgo.co/fanatics and buy yourself some gear. Tag us and I'll buy you a hat.
There you go.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Would you tell the kids today to try to live it, because to try to do what you did, or not try to do what you did because no one could do it, but to try to
protect that, to try to protect it. Yeah, just to try to protect it as long as you could, for as long as you Taker did a pretty good job of it. I mean, he protected it. You protected it till you were gone, and that's one of those things that it was.
I was gone. I was gone. I spoke with that accent for 3 years after I retired.
So amazing. And do you think that's what's missing? I don't know if you watched today's product, and I don't know if you want to comment or talk about it, but JP and I, we struggle because of how fickle people can be in social media, and I enjoy the product because I get to sit back as I just watch it. I just absorb it. I'm not in trying to figure out what's going on. I'm just trying to absorb it and watch it.
If they would just, and it's not because of the way it's been exposed, if they would just watch it almost like you're saying, a movie on a silver screen, and just enjoy the entertainments and the athleticism, just that part of it. I remember years ago I took my daughters to a ballet, and they did not like it. They were young and they did not like. Yeah, this is boring. And I'm like, girls, appreciate the artistic. I can't think of what I'm thinking about. And I basically just said, look, appreciate what they're doing up there, even if you don't like it or like ballet. Just appreciate what they're doing and the art and what they're performing, and just enjoy that part of it, And the same with I would say probably the modern day product they're putting out there. Just watch it for the pure enjoyment of it, and to your point, don't try and figure it all out. Just enjoy it.
So, was it a Russian ballet?
Actually, it may have been. Actually,
I had to. I'm sorry. I had to.
No, that was good. That was good. I think I actually ended up taking them to more than one because they did begin to kind of appreciate the artistic portrayals. And anyway, yeah.
As a child of a parent that appreciates the arts, I had to attend Guys and Dolls as punishment one time. So that's where I learned to appreciate the art of ballet and song and dance. Like, I get it.
Yeah, right. And that was the thing with my children growing up. I took them to all those types of things. I just wanted them to be cultured and learn to appreciate the culture, appreciate the art culture, appreciate that world. And so I took them to stage plays and ballets and ice capade, just different things for them. And so, for those out there, your viewers, your listeners, I mean, watch it with the appeal of just being entertained and don't try not to be critical of it and just enjoy it.
Right. Be a fan. Don't try to figure it out. Let the guys that are in there figure it out for you and tell you the story.
Well, hey, here's an approach for you. Okay, so you're 46. You may or may not be Archie Bunker. You know that show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I never saw the episode, but this may help the viewer. This may help the wrestling fan out. I never saw the episode, but he's in the living room. He's watching professional wrestling on TV. And Meathead walks in, the son-in-law, right? Yep. And he had, I think he had an accent kind of like yours, JP. So I don't know if I can.
Arrogant accent.
I'm not a pinky. I'm not a pinky.
He basically said this. What are you doing watching that? That's all. It's all fake or whatever. Here was Archie's response. Meathead, as only Archie Bunker could respond. Meathead, maybe they know what's going to happen, but I don't. So shut up and let me watch it.
Perfect. Yep. That is. I thought I've seen every episode of that, and I've definitely not seen that one. But that is a perfect response.
I cannot remember where Mr. Carroll, the actor, is born, but I do believe he's from a city here in Montana. But I cannot remember which one it is, and I feel bad for not knowing that.
That's
horrible.
No, Mr. Koloff, where can people find you? I know you got the Koloff of Christ, right?
Yeah, so a couple of the websites. So for all the guy listeners out there, and or their significant others, if you want to send your guy, so Lex Luger and I, you heard me refer to Man Camp. The website for that is mancamp.info, INFO. Man, if you guys want more, if guys want more information on that, and check that out. Come spend a few days with Lex and I in northern Georgia, and we'll have just a whale of a time there. Koloff.org, O-R-G, Koloff.org. And one of the things I'm doing right now, I just launched something new. I've already done 8 interviews for that'll be added to the podcast. I've asked fans, I'm like, hey, email me, go to Koloff.org, email me some of your questions, and you may get a call from me, a personal call, and I will interview you basically and record that and upload that onto the podcast so you and your friends can all go listen to. So I encourage all of your viewers out there, Koloff.org. If you have some questions, it could be about wrestling, it could be about ministry, it could be about life, it could be whatever, and I'll do my best to answer it. And so I'm doing that. So those are 2 of the websites. 2 of the books that people are picking up. The last one was Nikita, A Tale of the Ring of Redemption. It's my life story. People get all the insight they want. One of the most fascinating things about that book, William Murdoch, who did it with me, is a wrestling historian. So he actually goes back into the 1800s, the history of professional wrestling. Okay. So it's kind of like a story within a story. So it is my story. But I tell people you're probably more fascinated by that story and the history of professional wrestling. Going back to Frank Gotch and Lou Thez and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, and then the other book, Wrestling with Success, one's motivational, the other's inspirational. So depending on what you're looking for. And I'm working on a new one. Got that one about half finished. And the very first one I did, I'm doing a remake of that one. So I'll be rewriting that one probably this year. Of course, the podcast, It's Time to Man Up, should be on all the different platforms. Twitter, Instagram, Nikita Koloff with the number 1 behind it. And if you're looking for the real me on Facebook, look for me standing in a river. I'm in a river with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and another friend of ours. That's actually the Jordan River. And we were taking turns baptizing each other in the Jordan in Israel. Yeah.
That is incredible.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So that's
Here's the other question I'm going to pose too, because I'm a little bit of back history on me too. So I've read the entire Bible. I've taken classes through Christian Leadership Institute. I've read almost every book that there is when it comes to religion in the world, whether it comes to Kabbalah or
whatever, right?
Anything.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to reach out to you, whether it's religious based and they're looking to man up and they're looking at the hashtag, how do you help with individuals of that different faith or interfaith? And I'm asking this question more as an informational for those that are listening to this that may not be a believer in Christ, may not believe him or have accepted him. Are there avenues or ways that you're able to help those individuals as well?
Yeah, I mean, for real. I'm just looking. Let me see if I can find this real quick, because I think.
No, I put you on the spot. I really put you on the spot on this one. This one was a deep one. And the other reason the other reason I ask it too is because as a man now, looking back, I've had great parents, right? But as a parent, we are only given the tools that our parents give us, and sometimes those parents have nothing but a hammer and a nail, and they don't know what to do with it.
Right, and they can only give you what they have, so to speak, right? And then you get out in the world, and then you really kind of got to figure it out for yourself, right? You can't really live off your parents' laurels and et cetera, and you got to figure that out. So, but I want to share this real quick with you guys.
Awesome, thank you.
It addresses some of what you said. So this guy reaches out to me, and he's been seeing my posts on social media about Man Camp and all that, and he listens to the Sting interviews.
Cool.
And a few days ago, he shoots this to me. Good morning, sir. I'm working this morning, so I have to be brief. I was just so blessed by hearing the latest podcast with you and Sting. His words about worldly remorse and repentance unto salvation really spoke to my heart. I came to the realization I have never had that kind of repentance before. Well, today, January 9th, 2021, I am truly turning to Jesus. Then he goes on to say this. I grew up in church, and at one time felt the calling of ministry on my life, fell into some bad teaching, left Jesus altogether for Islam, then Judaism, then Buddha, then witchcraft. I'm in tears right now. I haven't felt this joy and peace in about 30 years. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for doing what God's telling you to do. I am now saved because of your show. And I looked, and he's registered and signed up and paid for Man Camp. So I'm going to get to meet him face to face. And so, I mean, I'm good. Look, I'm good. I know that everybody's not a believer, and if you're not, Look, I'll love you anyway. You don't have to be a believer for me to love you. I'll love you and love on you, regardless. I'm no theologian, just for the record. I'm no Bible scholar. All I know is how Jesus changed my life, and be glad to share that story with anyone who wants to talk about it. And Koloff.org, and shoot me an email and a phone number, and, we'll talk,
I think you just hit on I'm Catholic. I grew up Irish Catholic in a very Irish Catholic neighborhood.
We both are.
And I have my, but you just hit on it. Like, as long as you love everybody, you're going to be accepted.
Well, or you should be.
Yes.
I mean, love is it's the foundation. God is love. I mean, it's the foundation. God is love. If we could, like, even if I'm going to speak truth to some, I tell people all the time, if you want to speak truth in love. I mean, it's one thing to speak truth, but man, that can come across pretty harsh if you're not doing it in love. So just love people, man. Just love on people. And I mean, Jesus modeled that more than anybody. I mean, I hold a men's Bible study. Had a group of men here at my house the other night. And we were reading in the book of Matthew, and it was just talking about Jesus had compassion. He looked at the crowd and he had compassion. Man, if in today's world right now, more people just were more compassionate towards people, even if you don't agree with what they say, just extend compassion to them.
Yeah, it's for me, it's always going to be the story of the Good Samaritan. And if people
might have just saved the country.
Yeah.
You might have literally just saved the country. If you think about it, if this whole country had that, like, all right, so you might believe something different. Like me and Josh have different political beliefs, but we can sit there and talk about it, have a debate.
Absolutely.
We'll decide at the end of the day we're good.
At the end of the day, you're still my friend.
It doesn't get escalated.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're still my friend. I don't agree with you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're crazy, but no,
right.
No, but you're still my friend, right? I mean, come on. You were Josh. You were saying something.
No. I'm more curious to again ask one, how long is the man camp? Where is it located? How often do you do this? And is there follow up and stuff online? Say you guys, I mean, this is the part of this that I'm really fascinated about, especially the COVID era, is people being able to actually, take a chance and go and sit down and really learn from people that have lived it. I mean, I guarantee your life on the road is way different than Sting's life on the road, which was way different than Ted DiBiase's life on the road, but it's also intertwined as being one and the same. And I think that's what fascinates me the most about this, is that I didn't know that you guys went to the Jordan. Like, that just fascinates me that you guys made that trip and were in that, and to feel like, what was that? Like, I'm getting goosebumps now, but to be able to do that, what was the energy like in that place?
Dude, I just got the chills, just thinking about it. Listen, I don't care who you are. Every person should make a trip to Israel, walk the streets of Jerusalem like we did, float in the Dead Sea where you will not drown, because you can't drown in the Dead Sea. I tried. Hands and feet out of the water and floated like a bobber on a fishing line. It was unbelievable. But you can't walk those streets. You can't retrace the steps of history, I believe, and not in some form or fashion be impacted. I mean, when I was standing, we're on the ship, we're on the Sea of Galilee, we're on the boat, which, talk about irony, we're on the boat with a group of people from Russia who are singing on the boat in a circle, doing a little Russian dance. I said, Ted, get your camera out. I got to join this little Cossack dance here. And I did, on the Sea of Galilee. You can't make this stuff up. And they're speaking in Russian, and their arms are circled and going back and forth dancing, and I'm right in the mix. Never told them I wasn't really from Russia. Just don't believe I was. Anyway, but once that moment was over, it just kind of hit me. I'm looking across the Sea of Galilee at the Golan Heights, and I'm like, those probably haven't changed too much in a couple thousand years. And I just started tearing up. I'm up in the bow of the ship on myself, and I'm like, this has got to be the same scene or the same picture that Jesus and his disciples saw when they were crossing back and forth on the sea. And I was like overwhelmed. There was 3 or 4 or 5 times. The Jordan River is certainly one of them. Outside where they believe was the tomb was another one, that I was just overwhelmed. I was just like, hey, check this out. Hey, Josh, here's something to think about. As of now, Easter 2022, so far committed to being a part of this tour to Israel is Nikita Koloff, Sting, Ray Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens,
I'm out. Just kidding. I'm a Steelers fan. I had to say that on record. Otherwise, I'd have got fired.
They don't fire anybody.
Daryl Strawberry.
What?
Oh, wow.
Daryl Strawberry, Ray Lewis, Nikita Koloff, Sting, and then the musician's accompaniment is a guy named Michael Tate, who's one of the lead singers for a group called Newsboys.
Okay, yeah, I've heard them on Christian radio a lot of times, big time Christian radio guys. Speaking of that, you've got to talk about the kids, because RJ from Ringside Rant said make sure that you talk. I mean, he's going to mention them, but he said they are amazing musicians, amazing people, amazing everything.
The Newsboys,
yes,
or what?
Yes.
They're unbelievable. Michael Tate, personal friend of the family, and he's going to sing. People might be familiar with the movies God's Not Dead and God's Not Dead 2. They're in both of them. They sing in both of them. Michael Tate's the lead singer. And the plan is on Easter morning, Michael Tate's going to sing God's Not Dead at the tomb site on Easter morning.
Wow.
That's the plan. I'll make sure you'll see that. It'll be blasted on social media, all the flyers and everything for that. Mm-hmm. It's going to be an unbelievable trip. We're believing for it to come through. We put it out far enough. We figure we get past all this crazy stuff and be able to make that trip to Israel. But it was surreal, Josh. I guess what I'm saying is that trip there was surreal. I mean, it just was. It was like, and the Jordan was just to cap it off. That was just, we had that little site there. And check this out. This is crazy. We were in Jordan for 3 days before we went to Israel. And we had a Muslim guide in the Jordan that knew the Bible better than most Christians I know, including me, for the record.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he heard us talking about baptism, and he goes, I might be able to get you in this private site. Well, he did. So where we took that picture, we had that place all to ourselves for an hour. Just the three of us.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. It was unbelievable. So anyway, yeah, it was amazing.
And I love the fact that, you bring in Ray Lewis in on, it's the 36th year, I think, of Daryl Strawberry beating some Boston Red Sox team in some game in Boston. So good choice on athletes. Good choice.
Two-time World Series champion, two-time Super Bowl champion.
I was a
couple
Strawberry
world champion wrestlers, trip of a lifetime for the fan, right?
I think what's cool about that is you are affording the opportunity for individuals to hear stories of redemption from people that they necessarily wouldn't be able to. I mean, both of those stories, Ray Lewis's, if you hadn't heard it before, is pretty amazing, and so is Daryl's. I mean, I was a kid, and he was my favorite baseball player, right next to Will Clark. Between Daryl Strawberry and Will Clark, they were two of my faves when I was growing up. So how many? I don't know details, but how many are you guys planning? As far as do you have plans as far as taking people? How many you're looking to see? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're each, and once we get more information out there, like people go, hey, I'm coming, through Nikita Koloff, or I'm coming through Daryl Strawberry or Sting or whatever. So we'll have all that kind of information. I asked him, I go, well, how many people are you prepared to take on this thing? They go, I mean, we can up to they're willing to take up to a couple hundred. We could not get that many. I don't know, but that's kind of the number they gave me, and so. Yeah,
and sometimes in these situations, one is a lot.
The life experience of those guys you just named, like each one of you had your own life experience that from what I've read, what I've seen is completely different from one another. So just those conversations to me would be
it'd be fascinating. Yeah, for the fan or for the people traveling to be able to hang out, and see these sites and hang out with the guys and ask them questions and we're going to, I don't know the actual schedule, but we're going to take turns speaking, each of us. So we'll kind of share along the way, have some phenomenal guides that will also fill us in on the history of Israel. And it'll be a trip of a lifetime for some people, for sure. For sure.
I'm going to try and pinpoint this question, JP. Nikita, where did Man Camp originate from, and where did you feel, or why did you feel it was a necessity?
Great question. And I really appreciate the question. So a little backstory. So I gave my life to the Lord about 11 months after I left wrestling. 17 October 1993. I was invited to. I didn't grow up in church. Like I didn't grow up in Russia. In case you hadn't still figured it out. And I didn't grow up in church. I knew this story. I knew the story of Jesus lived and was crucified, died, rose again on the third day, and so I had the story up here in my head. It just never made the 18-inch trip down to my heart. And through some business contacts after leaving wrestling, I was invited to a church here in North Carolina. And that very first day that I walked in, I look back now and I just sensed something that different that day walking in. And then when an invitation was given to come and give your life to Jesus, man, my heart was pounding. I'm like, I've never done that. It was a divine appointment for me. It was divine destiny for me. I encountered Jesus that day, and life's never been the same since, ever. I mean, I've done a lot of things in my life. We talked about all this wrestling, belts, and all kinds of stuff. But the last 27 years now, I have all of what I did prior to that pales in comparison to what I've done the last 27 years, traveling to 30 different countries, preaching in 1,200 plus churches. And about 15 years ago, I was introduced to a men's ministry in Texas called Quest, and I just felt prompted of the Lord to go. Well, I went, and it so impacted my life. I went back and served, just volunteered and served 3 more times that year, and then eventually brought that event to North Carolina and facilitated about 50 of those events, okay, over the last, starting in 2006. So fast forward, condense the story. So I had a real heart for men. And men have just always gravitated to me, partially because of mainly because of the wrestling background, right? The platform. But even outside of wrestling, there's just been this draw of men and being able to just speak to them, even before I was a believer in Jesus. But I began to say I got a real heart for men. God's given me favor with men, and so I'm facilitating all these. And then in 2015. I brought Lex up out of Atlanta, and he lived with me for about 10 months here under my roof. And we'd already been doing a bunch of ministry together, but we spent a lot of time together praying, reading the Bible, studying, trying to listen to the Lord. Out of that year together, birthed a conference, a one-day conference I bring to local communities called Man Up. That's the one-day conference. I call it the appetizer to the camp. So if you get value out of the one-day conference, hey guys, consider seriously coming to, and to answer your question, Josh, the 5-day man camp. So it's 5 days. And we just deep dive into what it looks like. Alexa and I take our experience of what it means to be physically healthy, having nutrition, working out, eating right. I mean, we cover that. We cover what it looks like to be mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, and of course, spiritually healthy. And the last part of that is, why did we feel led to launch this the Man Up conference and the man camps? Because I've seen a real void, personally, I feel, in all of my travels. I feel, Josh, JP, men over the last 2+ decades have been so emasculated that there's not a whole lot of what I would consider just real men, men.
I've done the same course, Nikita, and I appreciate you saying that. I've done the same course and did that deep dive, and it's huge, and I really, really appreciate that because it's true, and it's real, and it's hard to have that conversation, but at the same time, it's showing in what I do for a living, and it's showing in how the boys that are raising boys instead of men raising boys.
Yes, and let me tag one quick thing onto that, going back to the love. And so our hope is to send men back home from the camp who love their wives better, who love their family, their children, like you just said, and love their and just love life and love people. And so it centers partly on that as well. And for the record, for those viewing and listening, hey, we're not sitting around a campfire and sit around a campfire and sing Kumbaya. Just so you know, we're not going to do that. But we are going to talk about real life issues and what it means to be a real man in today's world.
I did the work about a decade ago, and I can't imagine how much it's improved. And the fact that you're behind it, Lex is behind it, Sting's behind it, Ted's behind it. That's a huge, huge thing. And I appreciate that. I respect it a lot. And thank you guys for taking the platform that you have and making that into it's something that JP and I take real, like the power of positivity compels you is what I say to people, and they laugh because it's a straight play on the Exorcist comment, but the power of Christ compels you, sure, but the power of positivity compels you too. Like really just focusing on that. And we've taken an hour out of your time.
We
did so much for a half hour again, JP. This happens. This is when people talk, I think they say, "Oh yeah, our trip, you'll be on there for at least an hour."
I swear we are professional. We do our best.
Hey, I have loved it. I really, again, I just appreciate the opportunity to be on with you guys, man. Where in Montana are you, Josh?
I am in Billings right now. I'm in Laurel and Billings. So Mark Merrill's actually been out here a couple times and done his speeches out here for kids. So it would be really cool at some point in time if you guys made that trip out here. Like Montana's huge, but it's something that is prime for leaders of men to be out here and help out. It's awesome.
Well, here's why I asked. So, and this is kind of cool too. So we did 2 of the man camps in 2019. One in June, and one in October. I don't think I said it. We do one in the spring, one in the fall normally. We did it in June because the spring one got pushed to June because all the crazy stuff. Totally. But we had men from 7 or 8 different states fly in, drive in, 9 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, and we don't do big groups. Typically I try to limit it to about 20, 25 guys, max, whatever. And man, we just went after it. And the cool thing is, even though we did one in June of 2019 and October of 2019, 0 reports of any sickness of any kind coming out of those camps. None. But I say that to say, also in October, I flew in for the first time ever into Billings, Montana.
Right here.
I flew into Billings.
God damn it, where was I at?
and check this out. I got to see if I can find it real quick for you. The pastor picked me up. We went into what, and you probably know this, we went into what he calls the big nothing. I don't have the town, but we went into the big, in other words, we went east. He goes, they call it the big nothing because there's nothing out here. And he was right. There was nothing out there. Cowboy country, right?
Yeah.
But he said, come in early. This is so, he goes, come in early. I want to take you around. He took me to oh my gosh, we went to Lewis and Clark. We went to that expedition. He took me one of that. He took me. I shot for the very first time a buffalo rifle.
Yeah.
We went to where they do the Quigley buffalo shoot. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it's called Forsyth, Montana.
Yeah, he went to Forsyth. Yeah.
I shot. This is the crazy thing. I have the video. He videoed me. I never shot a buffalo rifle. 600-yard target.
Oh wow!
And he goes, just eye it up. He showed me how to do it, the whole deal. He goes, and then after you shoot, just be quiet and wait for it. I'm like, wait for it. If you've never done it, you've probably done it. I shot, and about 2 seconds later, I hear this dong, and I'm like, what the heck just happened? He goes, you hit the target, dude. It sounded like somebody hitting a big gong. Yeah. It was one of the most amazing experiences. I was like beside myself, like, oh my gosh, that was the coolest thing. I go, so if that had been a buffalo, would I really have killed it? He goes, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah. And then he took me to the Battle of Little Bighorn as well.
Oh, that's cool. Next time you come up here, I will take you to Chief Joseph's house. And you can actually sit, you can go out where his pond is, and you can sit literally where and kneel. Nothing there. Like you can go and sit in the same place Chief Joseph sat and look in his mirror pond. It's really cool.
I love. See, I'm a history guy. I love stuff like that, and it was so cool. And yeah, he talked. He'll probably have me back out. We did a men's conference. I did a men's conference. We didn't do the man up, but we're talking about doing one sometime. The Man Up out there in Montana for the guys in Montana. So
awesome. I'm going to be there next time, so you know that already.
Awesome. So, man, it's been so fun, guys.
We really appreciate it, and this is one of those things. I'm going to go outside and probably run 5 laps and scream and let it go for a while. But again, thank you so much for what you're doing now for men across the globe. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for spreading the message. Thank you for doing everything that you're doing, not only for the men, but the women and the kids in the family, man. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. And JP, you still up north, you said?
I'm up in Boston.
You're in Boston.
Yeah.
So real quick, so I got a friend who just moved from Boston a couple years ago now, down here. But before moving, I flew up there, spent several days up there, and got the full-blown tour of the heart. I mean, I saw everything, man. I went into the Independence Hall. I mean, I did the whole deal, and absolutely loved it. They lived out by Harvard, right out by Harvard. They were an adjunct professor there back then. But man, I got the full nickel tour, and it was fascinating. So I've been to your town too. So.
Yeah, there's a ton of history up here, and it's
a lot of shitty sports teams though.
So here's one last wrestling story. So Dusty was a huge Celtic fan.
Yes, he was huge Celtics fan.
He was. Dusty rolled the Tower of Power 2 3 to be power, if you will. Yeah, I'm the son of a plumber with the superpower, Nikita Koloff, baby. Yeah. So everybody loves to imitate Dusty. Right? So Dusty Celtic. Flair is a big Laker fan.
Huge.
Of course, back in those days, it's almost always the Lakers Celtics in the finals, right? So it was a shirt that just said "Beat LA." Yeah, it's just fun watching the two of them kind of jab back and forth each other, whatever. But anyway, so been a blast, guys.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. Anytime you got anything you need to put out there, we'll retweet whatever you tweet and get everything you need out there.
And we'll make sure to JP. I'm going to mark down we're at 103.33. So I'm going to end it now. Is that cool? And we can let's get